Fit for a crown. Oh, don't pull the pages like that. Rapunzel was excited. After living in her tower for so long, she was finally free. With the help of her new friend Flynn Rider, she had escaped from the evil Mother Gothel and discovered she was a princess. Along the way, she and Flynn had many adventures. Now they were traveling back to the kingdom. Soon she would meet her true parents, the king and queen.
Bless you.
Thank you. I still can't believe I'm the lost princess, said Rapunzel as they walked along. I don't even know how to be a princess. Flynn smiled. You have nothing to worry about, he said. It's easy. All you have to do is wear a huge, heavy crown. Oh my, she exclaimed. Rapunzel grew pale. That didn't sound easy at all. What if it was too big or too heavy? She pictured the crown being placed on her head and falling down around her waist. Noticing how upset Rapunzel looked, Flynn tried to make her feel better. Do you remember that tiara from my satchel? He asked. Rapunzel nodded. Well, let me tell you a story about that. Taking a deep breath, Flynn began. When I was a boy in the orphanage, I read about a princess and her tiara. The book said that this tiara symbolized everything the princess should be. The tiara's white crystals stood for a strong, adventurous spirit, green represented gentleness and kindness, red stood for courage, and the golden crown itself stood for leadership. Flynn continued, For years I thought of that tiara, and then one day I actually met a gal who could wear it. As Flynn told his tale, Rapunzel's eyes grew wider and wider. The princess was certainly adventurous, Flynn went on, and as she traveled toward her dream, she was kind and brave. She helped those who were hurt, and she was definitely a leader. She seemed to be able to turn every bad situation into something wonderful. Rapunzel stopped Flynn. Are you talking about... she started. You, Flynn exclaimed, nodding. I'm talking about all those amazing things you did when you first left your tower in search of the floating lights. But I did all those things when I had long magical hair, Rapunzel replied, as they walked over a fallen log. Suddenly she slipped and almost fell. Now I just feel off balance, Rapunzel added with a sigh. I have no idea how to help anyone without my magic. Before Flynn could reply, they heard a commotion behind them. Nobody move, somebody shouted. Then several men came out of the shadows. They looked very dangerous. Hand over your horse, one of the men demanded. Flynn leapt into action, chasing the thieves. Rapunzel, he shouted, run away and don't look back. Rapunzel did not run away, though. Instead, she tried to rescue Maximus. She tackled one of the thieves and began to pull his hair. Then she saw that Flynn had fallen into the water. Rapunzel ran over and pulled him to safety, and they continued to fight. Soon the thieves were defeated. When it was all over, Rapunzel turned to the leader. You are not a nice man, she scolded. Stealing is wrong. I'm sorry, miss, the man said. He looked very upset. I just needed your horse. You see, my son is hurt, and I don't have a horse to take him to the doctor. Oh my, Rapunzel exclaimed. The man had been wrong to try to steal, but now she understood why he wanted to take Maximus so badly. Where's your son? She asked. The man quickly led Rapunzel, Flynn, and Maximus through the woods. They soon reached a clearing with a small cottage. Rapunzel rushed inside and saw a young boy laying on a bed. When she asked him what hurt, the boy held up his arm. Rapunzel smiled. You're a strong boy, she said. I'm going to help you as best I can. Then she patted his arm gently. She knew just what was wrong. She found a piece of cloth and made a sling for it. Then she put the sling around the boy's arm. It wasn't perfect, but it would work until he could see the doctor. Relieved, the boy's father lifted him onto Maximus's back. Flynn would give him a ride to the kingdom. Watching Flynn and the boy, Rapunzel smiled. She had been worried that without her hair she wouldn't be able to help people. She realized that she had been wrong. She had come to Maximus's rescue. She had helped the young boy, and she even pulled Flynn out of the river. Together, Rapunzel led Flynn, the boy, and his father toward the kingdom. When they arrived, Rapunzel finally met her parents. They held her tight, happy to have their daughter home at last. Later, after Rapunzel had received her crown and greeted the kingdom, she asked her parents for a favor. She wanted to make sure her new friends would never have to steal ever again. Rapunzel wanted them to help the boy's family. The king and queen agreed. They were so happy to have their daughter back, and even happier that she was such a kind, courageous, and adventurous young woman.
That one.
The end.